Prices have dropped. Is this just seasonality, or is this a taste of what is to come? We are talking about that and more right now. Let's do it. Hey, Jonathan McCoy, Atlanta's Real McCoy here, and we are at that time again where we're discussing the Atlanta real estate market. Well, there is no doubt that a shift is occurring in this market. But right away, I want to caution you against thinking that in a month or two from now, the buyers will have all the power, or will be a buyer's market. When it comes to a shift in the market, you need to understand that this means that the market is changing in a different direction than it was currently going in, which everyone knew was coming between the crazy offers, the high prices, and the raising rates. We knew the market was going to have to shift. It couldn't last forever. What we are seeing now is a more normal seller's market. Take a look at this 6-month trend report here. First, we see that the number of active homes has gone up and now sitting at 8,366, and the number of under contract homes has decreased to 5,766. We also see a decrease in the number of sold listings. And as I mentioned many times before, I like to keep an eye on this pending ratio number, and that's now down to 40.8%, which we see has been a decrease for over 6 months now. Two other numbers that will open some eyes out there is that the inventory is up to 2.1 months, and the median sales price is now down to $440,000. Now, before you jump on the sky is falling, prices are crashing, run to the hills bandwagon, let's take a minute to talk about these numbers. Yes, we have seen an almost doubling in inventory and days on market since May. We have also seen the pending ratio drop almost 20% from May to August. But hopefully you remember what real estate used to be like pre-pandemic. You know, when we thought that 2.1 months of inventory was crazy low, that a 40.8% pending ratio is really high, and what a time to sell a home. And I didn't even mention that sellers are getting 99.1% of their list price. Before the last 2 years, this would have been a seller's dream. Problem is, sellers got spoiled with the last year and a half. That ship has sailed. It's time to come back to reality that it's still a great time to sell. It just might not happen in 2 hours after you list. And you can't price your home $50,000 over the price of a home that just sold last month that had better updates than your home and expect to get that price or even higher. I got an idea. Let's bring up this chart here. This chart shows a more normal seller's market back in August of 2016 and August of 2019. Notice days on market. Notice the sales to list price ratio. For you out there watching, this is still a great market. The one thing that I want to continue to take a look at are these three numbers here, which are the active, pending, and sold homes. If I look at 2016 and 2019, we just see that more selling and buying was going on. In 2016, there were 27,051 homes at play. That's the total of active, pending, and sold added up. In 2019, there's 26,407 homes being bought and sold. But jump to present day, and we're just talking about only 18,063 homes. That's 8,000 fewer homes than in 2019. There are a lot fewer people buying and selling right now. Okay, that was all dealing with single-family detached homes. But Jonathan, what about townhomes and condos? Well, let's bring up those numbers right now. You will see that we still have the same trend of homes being active on the market in the last 6 months and a decrease in the number of homes under contract and sold. But the numbers aren't as dramatic. And looking at July and August, you're going to see that the numbers pretty much stay the same. We may be starting to see a little bit of stabilization going on. But don't be fooled. Inventory's still low. Days on market's still low. So it's still a big advantage to the seller. I'm certain many of you are aware of seasonality in the market. Typically, the highest median sales prices each year occur between May and July, and the lowest usually occur from November to January. The current drop in prices, I think, is a reflection of both seasonality that is returning to the market and maybe a little bit of course correction from the skyrocketing prices. But will it last? That is the million-dollar question. I was having a conversation with some of the top producing agents in the area, and we were discussing 3 different homes in 3 different areas that we had been either listing or dealing with. 2 of those homes were in the upper 300,000 range, and the other was in the mid 400,000 range. All the homes were in good locations, and all of them were in great condition. One of the homes in the first weekend had 13 offers on it, and was under contract for well over the asking price. The second home had 4 offers on it in that first weekend it was on market and also went over list price. The last home, though, is still on the market with no offers. Now, I'm not going to bog you down with the details of these different homes and what could be the reason for the 3 different scenarios that occurred, but here's what the different realtors I was talking with had to say. That the $300,000 range is your new starter home price in this market. And there's still a high demand for those starter homes. That once you get into that mid 400,000 range, the demand has kind of gone down and may take a little longer to sell. We all did conclude that it is hard to see it being a bad market right now when there are 13 offers on a single home. Here are my thoughts. Anyone out there, agent-wise or on the internet, on YouTube, telling you that there's no one buying out there anymore, that's just not the truth. I even recently heard an agent saying that we're now in a buyer's market and the buyers have all this power now. My thought when I heard this was, this has to be a newer agent who just doesn't understand what a true buyer's market is because they never actually experienced one. It's still a seller's market and will be for the foreseeable future, unless there's some kind of continued runaway inflation and rates go up to the 7s and 8s, which is not what's being predicted. I think we are back to seasonality of the market, longer times on the market, and buyers being able to make more reasonable offers on homes. But that definitely doesn't make it a buyer's market. If you found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up button. Want to see more videos? Check out this one right here. And if you never want to miss another video again, hit that subscribe button. I post videos weekly. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.